Hello, my friends. Today I just finished a newer anime called Noble Reincarnation, Born Blessed So I'll Obtain More Power. It's all about this kid named Noah Arat who is born into nobility, and he is the 13th prince of a line of all these other worlds. It is definitely an isekai, although it's a very strange isekai, to where in this show immediately everybody in the kingdom, or who's ever in the anime, is able to see stats. So in the beginning of the episode, or the first episode, Noah is essentially tested, well, not really tested, but is shown like his stats on like his powers, and we find out that he is a water user, which in turn later on in the show gives him unique powers. For example, it's not really spoiling anything, he is gifted a 200-year-old sword by his brother, the second crown prince, I guess, and instead of being like ultimately destroyed by it, where everybody's is like either weakened by it or can't be around it, he immediately gets attracted to it and is able to use it for his own benefits. The character Noah is absolutely OP. He is overpowered to the max. He's smart. He has fast reflexes. He's a good fighter. And in the show, it really points it out. For example, not really spoiling anything, his dad, the Emperor, dubs him the Wise because of his intelligence and how quickly he's able to think of how to operate things within the kingdom. And therefore, the Emperor, his dad, grants him more money and land and even people. All in all, I thought it was good. A lot of people, I understand, are kind of sick and tired of OP characters and whatnot. And I believe when it comes to OP characters, there's got to be a reason why the character is OP in begin with. In the show, we see that it's very, very, medieval, to where it's every man for himself, essentially, especially when it comes to the other princes. Like I said, he's the 13th. I believe there's at least 15 princes in the show, but we only see like 3 or 4. I think we see the second prince, the 4th, and the 8th. And obviously there's going to be some princes that like Noah, and there are other princes that do not like Noah. I think it's very well done. It doesn't really have a lot of slow points in the show, though I wouldn't say that they are fillers. It definitely, the show, every episode explains itself on how it's going to continue the story going forward. Bear in mind, throughout the show, Noah just keeps on adding to his strengths, whether it be, again, getting more subjects or obtaining more weapons that increase his power. I am very looking forward to season 2. I'm not sure when it's going to come out because, again, season 1 just finished. And I'm assuming that we're going to see Noah as an adult, more mature, because throughout the whole the first season, I want to say like every 3 episodes we see like a time skip. So for the first few episodes, I want to say like 1 through maybe 4 or 5, we see him as like a 6-year-old kid, and throughout him being a 6-year-old kid, he's, you know, guiding his dad with diplomatic stuff and policies. And later in life, we see him as a 12-year-old kid, until by the end of the season, I think there's 12 episodes, we see him as like a 16-year-old kid or a teenager. And by then we see him kind of really coming into his own and realizing how things are going around his kingdom and what's going on, and how he's going to essentially rise to that pinnacle, like, you know, tip-top arc of, I'm assuming he's gonna be like the ultimate #1 crown prince. How that's gonna go, I have no idea. All in all, I am very excited to see how it's gonna pull out, whether or not that the brothers that did side with him are gonna go against him, because he is now the new favorite out of all the other 15. I'm assuming we're gonna see the other princes and what their sides are gonna be gonna go on, whether they're gonna be on Noah's side or not. You know, now that I think about it, it's very Game of Thrones-esque, to where each crown prince is going to ultimately pick a side on whether or not to be with Noah or to be against Noah. And I'm very eager to find out what's going to happen ultimately in the end. But anyways, I hope you guys watch the show and let me know what you guys thought of it, whether you think you don't like it or you like it, and if you think Noah's a little bit too OP, and if it makes sense or not. I think it kind of makes sense. I believe it drives the show a little bit more interesting. Like, I can understand the idea of a character struggling and all that, which, I mean, I haven't really seen Noah struggle in the show, because in the end, like, out of all of it, he always, like, finds out how to either negotiate things or find a way to be up on top of everything. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the new anime, Noble Reincarnation. Let me know how your guys' thoughts, and put comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Toodles.